Welcome to the Culinary View here in the Vineyard District. And this month we're going to be talking about sunflowers.
Woo-hoo. I love them. They're so yellow. They're so
know, they
yellow.
are very
And
yellow.
Meryl loves yellow,
My
so
favorite
wow.
color.
Yes.
So, Michael Madrine, who is our master gardener, writes our horticulture articles for the Culinary View. And you can find his article about sunflowers at our website at mer-bon.com.
Oh, does that smell good? Oh, wow.
.com. And also, you'll find recipes there from the Vintage House restaurant and the wine pairings that we'll be talking about today. And so, speaking of recipe, we have with us one of them that is posted that Chef Zeke from the Vintage House shared. And it is, of course, a chocolate brownie cake.
Meryl loves that. Chocolate. You said the right word.
Two favorite
Wow.
things today, yellow and chocolate.
And what the aroma is amazing.
It does smell
Wow.
really good.
Okay.
And in this, the ingredient in this is called sun butter. Now, I was not really familiar with sun butter. I know peanut butter, almond butter, sesame butter. I've used all of those, but I had not used sun butter.
A new discovery.
It is. It's sunflower butter. And interestingly enough, it does taste a little bit like peanut butter, not as strong a nut flavor because it is not a nut. It's a seed, but it has the same texture as peanut butter, and you can use it to substitute for peanut butter. What a great idea for people who can't have nut allergies. And so we've used this ingredient in our chocolate cake. There's also another recipe online that Zeke shared, which is a spicy dip recipe using sunflowers. So sunflower seeds are the component that we use from the flower. After they have their beautiful bloom and they share their glory, they go to seed. In the seed head, all of those seeds can be used as an ingredient in different dishes or just toasted, and you can use them on salads or just as a decoration on the table. There's just so many things that you could do with sunflowers.
And they're beautiful. The flowers are gorgeous.
They are.
And they're yellow. And then to be able to use the seeds, fantastic.
And the other thing I love about this recipe is that Chef incorporated our chocolate truffles. They're our chocolate port wine truffles.
Wow.
So we have these. We've had them for years and years and years. We've made them. They are dark chocolate truffle with a port ganache in the center of them, which is made from our Papa Paolo port wine. And he incorporated the spiced wine jelly that we have that is also based on our Papa Paolo port wine, but it's got all those wonderful, warm, holiday flavor spices in it. And so he kind of did the butter and jam technique in this chocolate brownie cake.
Wow.
I know.
That's a lot.
It's a lot, but it's
fantastic.
fun. And the other thing that
I'm going to eat this now. Oh my goodness.
As we get to talk about the wine pairings, the things that are important to remember are usually we think about a chocolate cake like this or a brownie with a port or a dessert wine.
Which works.
And it is delicious.
It's fantastic.
But I also love the really dark, rich, tannic, full-bodied reds with dark chocolate. And this cake is not really sweet. It's not a sweet cake. It has enough of that dark, more bitter chocolate to it that it is an excellent pairing with wines like we're going to be talking about today.
And we're going to talk about it.
Okay.
And here's the first one. It is our Gewürztraminer.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Gewürztraminer to me is such a lovely wine for summer because it's clean, crisp, and it has great aroma. It really does. And it goes so well with desserts. I love to, I don't know if I'm going to recommend dunking, but, I like to dunk. But this Gewürztraminer with this lovely cake is fantastic. And Gewürztraminer grows really, really well in Texas. We get our fruit from the high plains, from the Leopard Vineyard, because the Leopard Vineyard is way up there at about 3,600 feet. Fantastic vineyard, manicured beautifully by the family, and we've been working with them now maybe 20 years. And the Gewürztraminer is so aromatic. You know, one of the things that I used to love is when we would go up to the high plains and it would be harvest time, you could walk through the Gewürztraminer and just smell how wonderful the fruit smelled. So, and it's in this bottle. The aroma just carries straight into the wine.
It offers a white wine to go with something like this dish. It's not real sweet, so it balances nicely. But also for the other recipe, that is that spicy dip recipe using the sunflowers. This wine is an excellent wine for that.
The next recommendation is a lovely vintage wine. It is the 17 Paolo Cabernet Sauvignon, aged to perfection. I mean, this wine is now going on, what is that? 8 years old, and it's just perfect. We had a bottle of it last night, and it was just tasting fantastically. The Paolo line has wines that are as beautiful as any great first growth from Bordeaux, and this Cabernet Sauvignon is the ultimate. It shows how Texas can produce fantastic Cabernet Sauvignon.
You know, chocolate has that, its own little touch of tannin to it when you eat chocolate, and it balances so well with these heavier, more tannic red wines.
And this is one of my all-time favorites that we produced here at Messinahof. And this is another vintage wine. It is a Zinfandel. You know, we make a lot of Primitivo, and Zinfandel is the cousin to Primitivo, and this is the 15 vintage. There's just a few bottles of this left, and it is tasting fantastically. This one is 10 years old, so it is just tasting at perfection. You know, I always say red wines typically age very well until they're about 12 to 14 years. At that point, they're at peak, you know, and you always want to drink your wines at peak. Now, most of us drink the wines very young. We drink them when they're 3, 4 years old, and they're excellent at that point. But they do get better as they age, because that inner oxidation that occurs in the bottle is just perfect. It gives it a roundness and a richness and a voluptuousness of the wine. And so this is at peak. The Zinfandel Paolo 2015.
The other thing that's fun to do with wines like that you can lay down and age is if you have them when they're younger and you have it with a recipe, you choose a recipe like this, it will taste different as a pairing than it does when they get older. Different flavor components come out because in the balance of flavors, the harmony of flavors, you want them to bring out the best of each, right? You want that to taste that wonderful chocolate character, or maybe you'd rather taste the spiced wine jelly flavors in there. And wines like Zinfandel that change so much over time really do bring out different flavor components of the dish.
You know, I think Zinfandel, as they become 10, 15 years old, they actually start tasting like a Cabernet Sauvignon. It's really fascinating how that happens. One of the things that Marilyn and I do, we have a log, and what we do, when we find a wine that we like when they're young, we buy a case. And then every year we normally drink a bottle, and we'll make notes about how the wine is tasting. And it's fascinating to see that evolution that Meryl is just talking about, because the evolution of the wine occurs, people ask, do wines age? Well, that's what they're talking about, the aging, the changing of the aromas in the bottle. And it's a fascinating experience to have. So on behalf of Meryl and I, and
the Culinary View, Yes, and our team that's behind the culinary view that does such a great job. We so appreciate you joining us here each month to talk about the latest ingredient that we're harvesting from our gardens. And we hope that you'll join us in experimenting with our recipes and wine pairings as well. But to choose the wine that you like most first, and then develop the recipe to go with that wine.
Absolutely. And subscribe. This way you could follow us on all of our journey with wine and food. So, on behalf of all of us, God bless you all.
God bless.